Hello and welcome to Geology, a channel dedicated to making concepts in biology simple, easy to understand, and interesting. Today we are taking up a topic of human skeletal system, which is covered mainly in the 11th standard syllabus of both CBSE and ICSE. In today's video, we are going to understand what the skeletal system is, what are the endo and the exoskeletal systems in the human body, what are the functions of the skeletal system, and the main parts of the skeleton and the bones involved in it. So let's begin. Now, what is skeleton? The hard, supportive, and protective structure of the human body is known as the skeletal system. So, depending on its position, the skeletal system can be either exoskeleton or endoskeleton. As the name suggests, exo means outside. So exoskeleton is the skeletal parts which are external. For example, hair, nail, these are considered to be exoskeletal structures in the human body. Here the exoskeleton is different from that of the insects, where the entire skeleton is outside, whereas in case of human body, there are these structures like hair and nail which are considered as exoskeletal structures. Now, endoskeleton, endo means inside. So, endoskeleton is the skeleton which is found inside the body, and it consists of 206 bones. So, we have 206 bones in the human body. Now, how do we differentiate endo and exoskeletal structures? By location, as we said, endo is inside the body and exo is outside. Talking of what are they made up of, the endoskeleton is made up of bones and cartilage, whereas the exoskeleton is made up of keratin protein. Endoskeleton is produced by the mesoderm, whereas the origin of exoskeleton is from the ectoderm. When it comes to protection, the endoskeleton protects the vital organs internally, whereas the exoskeleton protects the body from environmental damage, pathogens, physical wear and tear, and all these external agents. Talking of growth, endoskeleton continues to grow along with the body and develops, whereas the exoskeletal structures continuously grows throughout life, for example, hair, nails, etc. And function-wise, endoskeleton provides structural support, it helps in movement, and it protects the organs. Whereas the exoskeletal protects the body from UV radiation, it prevents dehydration, skin specially acts as a sensory organ, sense organ, and structures like hair and nail, they help us in defense and protection and survival. Now let's understand the functions of endoskeleton. We have seen some of them just a while ago, but then let's understand that the functions in a little more detail, because the endoskeleton is responsible for a lot more than just protection. So one, it gives support by forming a rigid framework, um, thereby giving support to the softer parts of the body. It also helps in protecting the vital organs. For example, the spinal cord is protected by the vertebral column, the brain is protected by the cranium of the skull, and so on. It also provides a hard surface for attachment of the muscles, which helps in movement. And talking of movement, because of the contraction of the muscles, the bones and the parts of the bones are able to change their position. Thus, endoskeleton plays a very vital role in locomotion and movement. Then hemopoiesis basically means formation of blood and blood cells. So we know that the bone marrow of the long bones are the site for formation of blood cells, and thus endoskeleton is also responsible for formation of blood in the body. is also a reservoir for minerals like calcium and phosphates. And then structures like the cartilage of larynx, trachea, sternum, ribs, all of these help in breathing, whereas the bones present in the ear, that is the ear ossicles of the middle ear, they help in hearing. So breathing and hearing are again additional functions which the endoskeleton performs. Now let us understand the main parts of the skeleton and their bones. Based on the position in the body, the endoskeleton is divisible into two parts, the axial skeleton and the appendicular skeleton. So axial skeleton, as the name suggests, is present along the axis or the median longitudinal axis of the body. It comprises of 80 bones formed of skull, vertebral column, sternum and ribs. Appendicular skeleton, again as the name suggests, appendix means something which is additionally attached. That is, they are present on the lateral side and they are extending outwards from the principal axis. There are 126 bones in the appendicular skeleton, and your pectoral and pelvic girdles and the bones of the hand and legs are all part of the appendicular skeleton. Now let's see the main parts and the bones present in the human skeleton. So human skeleton, as we said, is of two parts, axial skeleton and appendicular skeleton. Within the axial skeleton comes the skull, the vertebral column, sternum and ribs. And within the appendicular skeleton comes the girdles and the bones present in the limbs. The skull comprises of bones like cranial bones, ear ossicles, facial bones, and the hyoid bone, which is the bone present in the base of the buccal cavity, also known as the tongue bone. Then you have the vertebral column, uh, which is formed of a series of vertebrae which are grouped into 5 groups: the cervical vertebrae, thoracic vertebrae, lumbar vertebrae, sacral vertebrae, and caudal vertebrae. Coming to the girdles, there are again of two types. One is the shoulder girdle, which is as the name suggests, in near the shoulder area, which is called the pectoral girdle, and the other one is the hip girdle, present in the pelvic region, or the pelvic girdle. The limbs obviously are hands and legs. So forelimbs are the hands, where we have 5 different types of bones: humerus, radius ulna, carpals, metacarpals, and phalanges. Similarly, when it comes to the legs or the hind limbs, there are 5 types of bones: femur, tibia, fibula, tarsals, metatarsals, and phalanges. So all of these put together forms the overall human skeletal system. So much for today's video. In the next video, I am going to take up skull in more details. We will be looking at all the different bones in the skull, the structure and function and so on. So part 2 comprises of skull. The third video in the series will be on the vertebral column, the fourth one on the sternum and ribs, the fifth one and the sixth one are the appendicular skeleton, fifth is the girdles, and sixth is on the bones of the limbs. So do stay tuned to get notified on these videos, which will be coming up once in 2 days. And thank you so much for the time today. Hope to see you in all the remaining 6 parts. Stay tuned and do like, share, and subscribe to the channel Givology. Let me know how do you like these videos in the comment section below, so I can include your feedback in my subsequent videos. Thank you.